Sell James Conner in Dynasty. That's something we didn't think we'd be saying last season. What's up, everyone? Eric, aka Doc, coming at you from Triple Play Fantasy. And first of all, congrats to James Conner, who earned a 3-year, $21 million contract from the Arizona Cardinals, $13.5 million guaranteed. Remember, this is the guy that overcame cancer, that overcame getting cut by the Steelers, signed a 1-year contract with the Cardinals worth a little under $2 million, and he just signed into a payday. Now, if you drafted James Conner last season, you reaped the benefits. And in a dynasty league, this is probably where his value will be the highest. So if you're not contending, now's the time to sell him. So let's look at the 2021 recap. 1,127 total yards, 18 touchdowns. And when we break that down, 752 rush yards, 15 touchdowns on the ground, 375 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns through the air. Now, keep in mind, he also had no 100-yard rush games. He had 1 game above 75. So very reliant on scoring because he had 16 carries within the 5, which was second in the NFL to Jonathan Taylor, who had 26. But all of that made him RB5 in PPR. Now, if we look at his second best fantasy season when he had 13 touchdowns with the Steelers, so still a good amount, he would have been RB11. So that's a back-end RB1. And he had those 118 touchdowns on 238 touches. So about every 13 to 14 touchdowns he scored, or every 13 to 14 touches he scored a touchdown. That is highly unlikely to repeat. And even in that PPR scoring, the lack of pass catching is going to be really, really hurting you. Because in 2021, in the 15 games he played, there were 4 games where he had 0 catches. There were 3 games where he had 1 catch. There were 3 games where he had 2 catches. So 2/3 of the game, he had 2 or less catches. And there were only 2 games where he had 50-plus receiving yards. So even in the ones that he did have more than 2 catches, he has limited receiving upside. And we're not just going to talk about his performance on the field, but he's somebody that has missed a lot of time off the field with durability because he's missed games every season of his career. 2018, when he filled in for Le'Veon Bell during his holdout season, he missed 3 games. In 2019, he missed 6 games. In 2020, he missed 3 games. And in 2021, he missed 2 games. Remember, the NFL season now is 17 games instead of 16, which means there's a greater chance for him to get hurt. Ironically, this past season is when he stayed the healthiest, but I don't project that moving forward. And he's going to be 27 years old when the season starts. That is somewhat old for a running back. And he has 895 career touches. Now, to put that in context, Tevin Coleman has 905 touchdowns, which is only 10 more, and Chris Carson has 876 touches. Both of those guys are at the back end of their career. Chris Carson might not play again because of a neck issue, but this lets you know the ballpark of where James Conner is. And just a quick outlook for the Cardinals in 2022. Chase Edmonds is gone, which frees up 159 touches. He only had 2 touchdowns, though. I don't see James Conner taking 90% of the running back touchdowns again. Maybe he does. Once again, I think that's highly unlikely. And do the Cardinals draft a running back, which is part of the reason I'm saying sell him now, because if they do, James Conner's value will go down. We also don't know the status of Kyler Murray. He wants a long-term extension. We don't know if the Cardinals are going to give it to him. His agent released a statement on Twitter, which Adam Schefter tweeted, basically saying the ball is in the Cardinals' court. And that's something that raised red flags to me because you never really see agents do that. It's normally kept in-house. And just how the Cardinals are going to look. They went 2-4 after the bye, after starting the season as the last undefeated team. And with their great game script playing from behind, that goes into James Conner's lack of pass catching. So if they do have to play from behind, he's probably not going to be the beneficiary. So for all of these reasons, I think you sell James Conner in Dynasty. Now, I'm not saying you trade him for pennies on the dollar, but you put feelers out there, and maybe there's a team that is contending right now that's willing to pay the price for an RB5 last year. For everybody that tunes in watching Triple Play, we appreciate it. Make sure you comment and let me know what you would look for James Conner in a trade.